The FC24 closed beta, the very first chance that anyone has of actually playing EAFC. But unfortunately, this is a closed beta, which does mean only selected individuals will get access. And in order to be invited, you need to be extremely lucky. It only applies to a very small percentage. However, there are things that you can do which will increase your chances. And today, we're going to go through exactly what those are. But before we do get into the video, if you're still looking to take advantage of FIFA 23, the final 2 months of FIFA, not even that, we're talking about a month and a half now, then make sure that you head over to SkyCoach. SkyCoach offers cheap, fast and reliable FIFA 23 coins, so the final month of FIFA is not a grind. It's more of you doing whatever it is that you want to do. Buy into the players before you never get a chance again. A link can be found in the description, and if you use Fnatic at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 10% discount. The EA Sports FC 24 closed beta. What is it? Well, this is a chance for EA to test their game before the full release. If there's any major issues, which there will be, players will come across them during the closed beta rather than it being a full release just 1 month later. This means that EA will have the chance to test it with a small pool of players, figure out the issues that arise during that playtest, and then fix them before that final release. Now, of course, by the time we do roll to the end of September with the Ultimate Edition and the Standard Edition, there will still be problems, but the idea is that there won't be as many problems, and anything that was a major issue will now be fixed. From our point of view and every other player, it means if you were to be invited to this, you'll get access to this way before anyone else. And if you do feel like there's an issue with the game, with the way that it feels, maybe there's something that feels a bit too overpowered or some things which are underpowered, you can submit your feedback, and if there's enough people saying the same thing, you can actually influence the game. The only thing with all of this is that whatever you do during the EA Sports FC closed beta will not carry over to the full release. There's some pretty cool things with that which we'll soon discuss. Now, the predicted start date of this closed beta is August 10th, and it's expected to go all the way up to the 1st of September. Game modes that will be included will be Ultimate Team, Volta, Career Mode, and also Kickoff. But depending on your invite will depend on what type of game mode you'll have access to. Some people will have access to everything, whereas others will be only invited to a specific game mode. And despite popular belief, those who get invited are not the ones that have played the previous game the most, or in this case FIFA 23 the most. People need to understand that EA is not just trying to target hardcore players, they're trying to target a broader audience. It's not even just targeted at football fans, as there will be a lot of people who play this game that don't even watch football. They just enjoy playing the game and competing against their friends. So when it comes to testing, they want feedback from everyone, no matter your background. Now, that does include those that do play this game a lot, but it does also include some people that have bought the game, played it for just an hour or two, and never played it again. They could very well still get an invite. But to increase your eligibility, there are a few things that need to be done. Firstly, you do need to opt in to receive FIFA as well as EA Sports FC news from EA. To do this, you'll need to head over to the EA.com website. There you will be asked to sign in. You sign in and then go over to your settings. In your settings, there will be a few things that you can look at, but you want to be looking at your email preferences, making sure that this is turned on. It's also worth going through to make sure that the email is the one that you believe it to be. If you're someone like me who has quite a few different accounts on Xbox as well as PlayStation, it's worth making sure that the accounts that you believe it to be are actually connected to the correct email address. And with this, it's also worth going over to your email account to make sure that all of these emails are not immediately being sent to your spam folder, because that happens quite a bit. People complain that they don't receive any of these promotional deals from EA and that they never get invited to playtesting, only to realize that they have been invited, it's just gone into a spam folder, but they only figured that out after the closed beta ended. What's interesting with this is that there is also a playtest section within the EA menu. Here is where you can select what type of titles you're interested in, and if there are any playtesting opportunities, you're more or less signing up to them, although it's still not guaranteed that you'll get an email with these. With this, I still go through and I've turned every single one of these on. You may not go and get an EAFC invite to the closed beta, but you might get a different title within the future, and sometimes these are online, other times they're at physical locations. So in the UK, sometimes you get invited down to Guildford to play another title. I've never actually been myself, but I've had quite a few invites for them. The other thing that you can do, and we did briefly just touch on it a second ago, is that you could have multiple accounts. It's free for you to create a new Gmail account, and you can more or less create a new Xbox or PlayStation account and link it to your previous subscription if you pay for online. So it doesn't cost anything else, it's just the time that goes into it. And even though we're cutting it very close with the time that this video releases to the predicted date being the 10th of August, it doesn't give you much time to get things in order. But as said before, it's not just down to those who have played the most FIFA that get invited. If that was the case, then the top 100 players would always be invited into Ultimate Team for the closed beta and no one else would get them. But that's never been the case. In fact, my main account, I've been an avid FIFA player since FIFA 2005. I played Ultimate Team on the release with FIFA 09, also played FIFA 10. FIFA 11 I didn't play, so I skipped that part, but since FIFA 12 I've played every year since, and that account has never been invited. And since FIFA 12 is played over 1,000 games every single year. A few years ago, I created a brand new account within August, and that one was invited after just playing 10 games in FUR. Does that mean that's going to happen for you if you create a brand new account? No, because with all of this, you need to remember that it is still down to chance. There's just a few things that you can do to increase your chances. Creating new accounts and making sure that you have emails from EA turned on and you sign up to playtesting. There are some things which I've always wanted to test but never really been able to do, which is trying to play different game modes. We mentioned it at the start of this video that you may be invited, but it may not be full access to the whole of EA Sports FC. Sometimes EA wants to get specific data on specific game modes from specific players, and if you fit within that category, you might be invited to Volta or career mode, and you'll only have access to that single game mode. But typically when this happens, it happens because you are a player of that game mode. And of course, a lot of people have this theory that because Ultimate Team is the most popular, it also means that you have the most competition to get in a closed beta code. Whereas Volta, career mode, or even pro clubs, you could even class Kickoff to be part of this, there's not going to be as many people. So if EA wants equal amount of data across all game modes, then playing one of the other game modes will give you a higher chance. Although all of this is just a theory, and I don't think anyone's tested it, but I guess it is something that you could try. Now, the final thing to mention is that once it does come round to the release of this closed beta, invite codes start rolling out. If you don't get invited, it's not over. Because what happens is the initial invites go out. Those players will get access. They'll start playing, and as they're playing, they're submitting feedback to a specific forum. EA then tracks that forum and sees what feedback's coming in and make changes. As time goes on, EA will invite more and more people. And because this is potentially going to go from the 10th of August all the way to the beginning of September, that's quite a bit of time. Not just that, but EA is really trying to push things out there. So as you get closer and closer to the 1st of September, EA will increase the rewards, especially with the likes of Ultimate Team. Last year and the year before, so the two closed betas that I did have access to, as FIFA 23 and FIFA 22, by the time that we got to around the 20th of August, about halfway through the closed beta, EA increased the amount of coins that you would earn per match, but also would gift daily pack rewards. Even got to the point of where you was able to play with every single icon just because EA would gift them out. You had full access to the game, which is pretty cool. To reiterate, you don't get this on your main account. Nothing crosses over from the beta to the full release in late September, but it does give you a slight upper hand as you know what's going to be overpowered, what feels good within game, and the players that perform the best, especially with those icons, because of course they're expected to be good, but just because they have a high stat doesn't actually necessarily mean that they are going to be good within game. But with all of this, that's for those that do actually get invited. And if you do go through this whole process to create more accounts and to set up email preferences and to open up the door for you to go through playtesting, and you don't get invited throughout the whole of August and even September, there's certainly other things that you could do with those accounts, which we'll have to go through in another video. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.